Okay. Let's go over some of the fundamentals of MIDI editing in Ableton Live 12. So to create a MIDI loop, you're going to highlight a section that you want one. Hit Shift Command M. Shift Command M will create the MIDI loop based on what you highlighted. All right. So new to Ableton Live 12 is obviously these highlighted scales. If you don't like it, you can just turn it off. And then you could just see the notes here. For me, I like it because it keeps me knowing where the notes are going to be located. Now, there's so many things with MIDI they've added to Ableton Live 12, but I'm just going to go over MIDI note editing. And that way you can explore beyond just this. I have some other videos that talks about, stacks, seeds, all this stuff. I'll do some simple ones on that. But this is a very beginner, just getting started workflow. Nothing major. All right. So here's a C note on this piano. So you can draw in MIDI. If you press the B on your QWERTY, you'll see a pencil tool come up. You can draw in the notes, etc. Okay, if you just want to use the mouse, you can do that too. You don't have to have the pencil. And you can draw in single notes. And you'll see that bracket allows you to extend it. Now, they move based on whatever your grid is set to. So if you want to change that, you can set your grid off if you just want to move them however, or you can set it on 32 or 30 seconds of a note, or an eighth or a fourth. I usually leave mine on 16 because I'm not drawing in MIDI notes, but if you do want to draw them in there, that option is available. You can see we're on the Notes tab here. So you can always zoom in and look closer at spots and whatever you want to do. Most of the time, I'll be honest, I play in my notes. But let's say you've created some chords. Just going to put some random notes on here. Okay. You can highlight them all and then just drag them over. They're all going to move at the same division like that. There's a new feature with the humanize that allows you to adjust them. You can see them moving as I'm moving this. See them moving? So you could set the humanization where you want it. As long as they're highlighted, they will move. And then click off and there it is. So that gives you that human feel. There's legato if you want to lengthen the notes where they all touch. See? I'm going to Command Z to undo that. And of course, you can stretch the notes further out using the stretcher. You can fit the notes to the scale. Let's say if this note was out of scale and these were highlighted, you could click it and it'll move it a note down. You can invert the notes, see? So that just moves the bottom to the top or top to the bottom, shifting it. So all these are right on here set. You can even set the grid here if you would like for the notes. Fit to range. One of the things I like that they added, let's say this note, I want to extend the note all the way out. You just highlight that area and I'm going to show you with the right click, but you can actually use the command. It's right here. So it's Option Command J. And it will automatically fit it to the whole length of that MIDI clip. So see, fit to range. You could use it here too if you forget. So based on, this is usually on the grid. So if you just touch this note, it won't do it. See, it won't fit it to, it only fit to where you clicked. So if you do this all the way out, then click it, Hold up. See, it didn't do it. So you got to do Option Command J, then it'll do it. Oh, I didn't press to set the link. My bad. So if you go here, there you go. Okay. So these are just other options. I'm going to put that back at 16th or grid, whatever this grid is, right? And then I'm going to adjust the notes. So this is pretty much MIDI editing. Now you can shift down and do an octave. So if you want to shift up or down, hold shift and then use your arrow keys to go up and down. And you can move an octave. If you want to divide this, let's say you have this long bar and you want to divide it by 16ths. All you have to do is hit Command E, and it will divide it into equal 16th parts. So it's pretty simple. Now let's say these velocities, you want them to vary. You have a randomized velocity that you can just click and click it till you like what you got. See, pretty simple, right? You can adjust the percentage of how much it's going to vary it. And I use this a ton to get variation in hi-hats and different things of that nature. Then you have the deviation, which can go up or down. And so that means when it plays, it's never going to play that note exactly at that velocity. It's going to switch it up a little bit, but it'll stay within that range that you set. So that's a really good tool. I use this all the time. The randomize and the deviation for the velocity. There's chance. I'm not going to go too much into chance, but you can adjust. I don't want to adjust all of them. Individually, you could adjust how much a note will ring out or not. Okay. And then you have these other options, which is play all, play one, ungroup them, or just randomize. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So select them all, hit randomize, and it'll randomize how much they vary as far as the chance of them playing. So many options when it comes to randomization and chance, which will enhance your music a ton. Then you can also do your humanize, and that adjusts the notes off the grid a little bit. So if you want to do off the grid, this is your off the grid stuff. You can manually do it if you want to. That takes forever. I never do that. I usually just play in and then add a little humanization onto it. If you don't like the chance, you can delete it. Just go back in, extend the note, Command E, boom. Go back to velocity, take chance off, just leave velocity, hit randomize, drop the deviation down a little bit, hit humanize, and now I'm just using this. Of course, you want to do this with some hi-hats or something of that nature. It's probably sound better, but you get the sense. So a lot of tools just right in this little section and this little section to adjust. All right. You can click anywhere, right click anywhere in here and access your quantization, adaptive grids, and all this stuff. Fit to time range, etc. And they always list the command generally, if there's a command for it, right beside it. Okay. So pretty simple. MIDI editing is way better than it used to be. I know a lot of people say FL is the best. I could understand why, but I would say Ableton is right there, if not even better in some ways, especially with the randomization of stuff. I find it to be way better than FL. We're not here to compare or say one's better than the other, really. I mean, it's up to you to determine what works for you. It's all workflow, right? Okay. So if this one more thing that's not probably catching your eye, but it should, is this little thing here. See, if it's not on, you can't hear the notes. So make sure that little headphone is on. so that you hear the notes when they're triggered or when you place one. See? Or delete one. All right. That is it for MIDI editing. There are envelopes if you want to adjust the envelopes and on different things. The MPE stuff, I don't have a controller to teach you that, unfortunately. But that is a part of it. If you had maybe like the push 3, yeah, you would have all that features. Okay. So you can use fold and it will only show you the note that you have, or the note that you have notes on. If you do scale, it only shows you the scale, the notes in the scale. So you can't go outside the scale. And then I like it this way where you see all of it. But this is just a personal preference. All right. That is it for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And you can always leave helpful comments in the section below. Please be nice to everyone. This is for beginners that are learning or interested in using Ableton and have not maybe got their chance to learn from a video that I think I'm making is pretty easy to follow. I was a newbie about a year or so ago, so still learning and love it. I haven't changed a bit as far as my love for it. All right, that's it for this video. I'm out.